Viability. Alright. Hey guys, welcome back to CNC Life, and today is my bump date. It is my 24-week bump date. I am right now doing bump dates every 4 weeks. I was doing 5 weeks, but now that I've reached 24 weeks, I'm gonna do them every 4 weeks till the baby is born. Maybe more as I get bigger, who knows. But today I have reached 24 weeks pregnant, which means that we have officially reached Viability week. That is a huge milestone in pregnancy. 24 weeks marks the week that basically, if I had her, which we obviously do not want to have this baby because there'd be tons of complications, of course, and there's still a huge chance of, you know, things going wrong. But at 24 weeks, there is a chance of survival, and it's a huge milestone in pregnancy because it just means, like, just maybe that if she was born that she could survive out in the real world. Of course, her lungs are not developed yet, but it is very exciting to be pregnant and to reach 24 weeks. It's a huge milestone in my head. It's always a big one until the 3rd trimester, obviously. But yeah, I am so excited with 24 weeks. I can't believe I've made it not just halfway, but more than halfway through this pregnancy, all the way to here. I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and get started on this bump date. I am officially 6 months pregnant. 6 months. Technically, I only have 3 more months to go, which is terrifying because that just does not seem real at all, to be honest. It feels like I'm not having this baby for forever. But then I look down and I go, okay, I am having this baby soon. But yeah, it is crazy that I have so much to go through before having her, though, because I have to get through all the holidays before we have her. We have, we have Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, and then we even have to get through New Year's before we can have her. So that's crazy to think about that. It's in 3 months, and in 3 months, all of that time will have passed. So that's literally crazy. Let's go ahead and jump into this though, guys. I want to talk about first about how I have been feeling lately. I haven't given you guys that much of an update, but let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys can see in the beginning, you guys can see how big my belly has gotten. My belly has gotten really big, it feels like. So I definitely starting to really feel that belly heaviness. And along with that comes back pain, hip pain, my feet hurting more. I definitely am having more uncomfortableness. And on top of all of that, I'm also getting Braxton Hicks now, which I'm getting Braxton Hicks a lot sooner than I did with Jackson. I didn't get Braxton Hicks with him until my 3rd trimester, like 28 or 29 weeks pregnant. But this time around, I'm already getting them at 24 weeks. Yeah, it even started probably more around 23 weeks, actually. So I've had them for like a week now. That's definitely a newer thing. I asked my doctor about it, and it's not really a big deal. It's pretty common that as each pregnancy, you get them sooner. So I heard some people said that they got them at 10 weeks, you know? You just, like, each pregnancy, you get them sooner and sooner. So I am already getting those, and they are really uncomfortable. You know, it gives you that belly tightening, and it kind of gives pressure, and it doesn't hurt, but it's uncomfortable every time. And it definitely puts a strain on some of the stuff I do. But for the most part, it's not that big of a deal. If anything, more the back pain in my hips. That is definitely a struggle for me lately. Especially if I sleep weird, or if I don't sleep weird, if I walk too much, my feet are killing me. But that's just pregnancy, you know? What am I gonna say? That's just pregnancy. It's pretty crazy to compare this pregnancy to my first pregnancy with Jackson, because at this point with Jackson, I was already high risk. We had already gone through a ton of Down syndrome scares. I had low PAP-A, which is what made me high risk. I was on aspirin for blood pressure. Even though I didn't have high blood pressure, I was at risk for high blood pressure. And when I had low PAP-A, I was at risk for him to have low birth weight. I was at risk for preeclampsia. And it's crazy because this pregnancy has just been, I mean, easy peasy in terms of, like, on the paper. On paper, this pregnancy is going very smoothly. I have had 0 complications. Nothing has come up in ultrasounds or blood work. I also was extremely anemic with Jackson. I had to have iron infusions. And so far for this pregnancy, I have had 0 issues like that. My iron always comes back good. All my levels are well. So that's super nice and comforting. It's been very nice for this pregnancy not to be super worried or overwhelmed with going to the doctor all the time or having ultrasounds all the time. I mean, ultrasounds are nice though. But it is nice to just know that she's developing just fine and I don't have anything to worry about for myself or for her as of right now, and that's been really great. So I did have my 24-week OB appointment, and it was pretty much unproductive. Not a lot happened out of it. I did find out that I've gained about 6 or 7 pounds this pregnancy, which is definitely not that big of a deal, I think. I think I was up like 3 or 4 pounds from my last one. So I'm gaining weight steadily pretty much. I'm sure I'll start gaining and packing on to some of the weight as I get into my 3rd trimester, obviously, especially with me getting so much bigger. I'm shocked I haven't gained more weight actually. And on top of that, with my belly and stuff, I officially cannot like wear any regular t-shirts that I have like pre-pregnancy. Unless they're like purposely oversized. I am kicked out of all my clothes, kicked out of all my pants, and even this, I'm kicked out of my shoes, which is such a bummer. I put on my Nike sneakers the other day and I got blisters from them, I think because my feet got either a little fat or they grew in size. So I am having to invest in some new pregnancy shoes, which I wanted some good slip-on shoes anyways, just so I don't have to bend down all the time for my shoes. But yeah, I think my feet have gotten either they're getting fat or they got bigger. I don't really know. Also, a huge symptom of mine is I am peeing all the time, which I know happens, but man, I gotta pee a lot. I still am not peeing a lot like at night. I can even sleep through the whole night if the dogs don't wake me up. I will not wake up at all to go to the bathroom. But during the day, I have to go pee all the time, and I know I drink a lot of fluids, which is obviously good. I should be drinking lots of fluids, but I have to go pee all the time. It feels like I never not have to go pee. Like I could just go pee, and I could just go pee real quick before we go. And if I don't pee before we go, I will have to pee 10 minutes into that drive, like so bad. So that's a new one. I mean, obviously I knew this was coming, but it is coming. It's like I'll hear a lot sooner, I think, just because I'm bigger, which means that weight is pushing on my bladder already more than it was with Jackson. Time to talk about little miss baby girl. This baby, guys, I don't know if Jackson was this active, but he probably was. But she is so active. She is freaking so strong. Her kicks are already crazy. I've already caught her multiple times kicking outside on like outside of my body, not just feeling her inside. Carlos has felt her. I have no doubt when I go visit family that everyone's gonna be able to feel her. She is very strong. She's like a freaking acrobat in there too, man. She's doing gymnastics all day. Even just like from the moment I wake up to the moment that I go to bed, I'm like, yeah, she's fine. Like I've seen her, she's literally fine. And you know, she can be high, low, like sometimes she's kicking way, way down, and then sometimes she's kicking way up high, to the side, left, right. I don't know, she's a very busy girl. But I do like that she's not only kicking down anymore. I think my last update was that she kicks down at my cervix a lot. And she still does that sometimes, but often more than not, I am getting kicks really high up in my belly now, which has been really nice just for other people to be able to see and for me to capture on camera. And it also is just more fun to get kicks up instead of low. She is officially 11.5 inches long. That's huge. She's almost literally a full foot. She weighs over a pound, and they say she's the size of an ear of corn, which is pretty much probably about this big, I'm assuming, something like this. So that's crazy. She is getting really big. Let's see what else she's doing this week. Okay, so it says here that her face is formed. Pretty cool. And she can hear lots of sounds now inside of me and outside too. So she can hear like loud noises, and she can hear like the gurgling of my belly more. And if she's going to have hair, she is starting to grow hair now. Even though it might not be the color when it comes out, she is starting to grow hair, which Jackson had hair when he was born, so I expect her to have hair, but you never know. So I know now that in my pregnancy, since I'm having such a healthy pregnancy, I have no more ultrasounds scheduled for her. So any ultrasound I want to do, I'll have to do on my own on an outside spot, which I do think we will do like one more really good ultrasound for her, but probably not until more like my 3rd trimester, like 28 to 30 weeks. That way we can get like a really good last well-developed photo of her. So other than that, I don't really have any ultrasound updates. I hopefully she looks beautiful in there, but I don't really know. We saw her at our anatomy scan and she looks super great, but I probably won't be able to schedule another one until closer to 3rd trimester, I'm thinking. So at my last OB appointment, we actually talked a lot about my C-section. It is starting to really come around to that I'm going to have to start really picking, one, a hospital to give birth at. I'm gonna have to figure out, you know, what are my wants and needs for this C-section? What are some things I really wanna do? And thirdly, I'm also gonna have to pick a date for what day I'm gonna have her. So I'm allowed to pick any date from the 5th to the 12th, as long as it's not a Saturday or a Sunday. I can pick any date from the 5th to the 12th to have my scheduled C-section for her. And I definitely wussed out at my last appointment, and I told them I wasn't ready to pick a date, because obviously you guys know that we are trying to move. But it's not looking like we're going to be able to sell this house in time before we need to probably commit to having the baby in North Carolina. So with that, I haven't taken any of this into consideration because I thought that maybe I was gonna move to Tennessee and I would be picking a whole new doctor out there and that's where I'd be having the baby. But now that it's becoming a reality that I am very likely having this baby in North Carolina, I've had to start thinking about all these things. Like, I had to think about what hospital I'm gonna give birth to her at. Like, they gave me the choices and I was like, oh, I'm not having the baby here, and I'm pretty sure I threw those choices away because I thought that I was not having the baby here. So now that I might be having her here, I really do have to take into consideration, and at my next appointment, I'm gonna have to make some pretty big decisions, like a date most likely, and I'm gonna have to pick the hospital officially. So those are things I'm gonna take into consideration over the next few weeks, especially as this house continues to possibly not sell. I'm gonna have to commit to that. I am officially putting together a baby registry, which I'm really excited about. We obviously have a lot of already pretty big items. We already have a crib, we already have a rocker, and we already have a bassinet. And obviously I already have a pretty good amount of clothes, and I'm also gonna go through all of Jackson's clothes and get out a lot of his clothes for her as well. But I am still putting together like a little bit of a registry, probably just to send to family. I don't know if I'm having a baby shower because, like I said, I'm just out here in North Carolina alone. And I don't know if I'm gonna be having a baby shower really this time of the year, but I might send my registry off to some family members like for Christmas time and be like, hey, instead of getting us a gift for Christmas, you guys could purchase something off of my registry, which would be great. They'll definitely like need some things for her, like swaddles and blankets and probably lots of little things that would be nice to have for when she's born. But other than that, I am just starting to put it together. I haven't finished it by any means at all, but I am working on it as of right now so I can send off for the holidays. So my next big appointment is my 28-week appointment, and that is where I'm going to, one, be entering the 3rd trimester, which is literally crazy, my 3rd trimester. And 2, I'm also be having my glucose test, which I'm not looking forward to the glucose test at all. I know that that test makes me miserable. It made me super sick with Jackson. I remember being very grossed out and sick for the rest of the day because of the glucose test. I wish there was some way out of it, but I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do it even though I can't stand the ingredients that they put in those drinks. I don't really have the alternative as of right now, so I'll probably just suck it up and do my glucose test in my 28-week appointment for them, and I'll get that done. And that's when I'm gonna have to be picking out all these decisions as well. So 28-week appointment is gonna be a big one. That's when we're making big decisions. And by 28 weeks, honestly, I'll probably know for sure if we're moving or not. Right now, it's still kind of up in the air. The house is still on the market, but by 28 weeks, it'll be done. The house is either gonna be off the market or we're gonna be in escrow. Anyways, guys, I actually think that's all I have for this bump date. I'm super excited. Make sure you guys keep watching our vlogs and make sure you guys are on my Instagram story for more updates. Like I said, my next big bump date will be probably around 28 weeks where I reach the 3rd trimester, so stay tuned for that as well. I'm gonna go to end this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh, and if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them down below and I'll answer them down there for you guys. Bye, guys.